breaking news coming in at the top of the broadcast. Supreme Court has begun hearing West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee's plea challenging the SIR process. The matter is being heard by a bench comprising Chief Justice of India Surya Kant, Justice Joymala Bakshi and Justice Vipul Pancholi. Mamata Banerjee is seen standing next to Kalyan Banerjee. TMC has released a poster which has labelled the event as historic. In a rare event, the West Bengal Chief Minister will present her own case in the top court today. During the first half of the hearing, Mamata Banerjee is and will be seen inside. In fact, as per pictures, she is contesting her own case. Mamata Banerjee has moved an interlocutory application seeking permission to appear in person and argue in person. Mamata Banerjee is likely to be personally present in the court along with her lawyers, and on your screens right now as the hearings for SIR begin in the top court, Mamata Banerjee can be seen presenting her own case. Remember, Mamata Banerjee had sought permission to present her own case and she was granted that permission. And the first visuals exclusively here on News 9, where Mamata Banerjee can be seen arguing her own case in the Supreme Court this afternoon. The matter is being heard by a bench comprising Chief Justice of India Surya Kant, Justice Joymala Bakshi and Justice Vipul Pancholi. Mamata Banerjee is seen standing next to Kalyan Banerjee. TMC has released a poster which labelled this as a historic event. It's a rare scene, it's a rare picture where West Bengal Chief Minister herself today is in court to present her own set of arguments against SIR exercise. My colleague Sabyasachi joining us with more details. Sabyasachi, that picture of course is historic as TMC is calling it. Mamata Banerjee has been granted permission to appear in person. She wants to argue her own case when it comes to SIR.
Well, that's right. See, the picture is historic because in India's history, it could be the first sitting Chief Minister who's inside the Supreme Court to argue in front of the apex court. Now, in the pictures, Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee can be seen standing beside senior advocate Shyam Diwan. Now, the relief that Mamata Banerjee is looking forward from the Supreme Court is that the Supreme Court should direct the ECI that poll in the state of West Bengal should happen on the existing voter list and not on the revised voting list that has been prepared by the ECI. Now, Mamata Banerjee is also looking at the Supreme Court to direct the ECI to scrap all the appointments of the micro-observers in the state of West Bengal and also the roll observers. Now, Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee says that around 8,000 micro-observers have been deployed in the state of West Bengal, whereas in the other states where the SIR is also going on, in these states the micro-observers have not been deployed. And she also cites the constitution rule says that the appointment of micro-observer is also against the constitution. And also senior advocate Shyam Diwan began the argument telling the Supreme Court about its previous order regarding where the Supreme Court had ordered the ECI that they have to put out the list of logical discrepancies in their official platform, in their official portal. Now, Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee says that this order has not been followed by the ECI and the list has not been made public. Now, Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee also says that the notifications, several notifications which has been received, which has been put across by the ECI should be scrapped immediately. Now, Mamata Banerjee says that under logical discrepancies, several Crow voters' name can be deleted. So, under these circumstances, the Supreme Court should intervene. Now, she has also questioned the timing of the SIR process. She says that the SIR process is currently going on in the non-BJP ruled states, where she has also cited the example of Assam, where polls is also due in the next couple of months and the SIR process is not happening in the state of Assam. So time and again, Mamata Banerjee has leveled this allegation that the ECI and the CEC is working on behest of the Bharatiya Janata Party and acting as a cadre of the BJP.
All right, let's also quickly break it down for our viewers, Sabyasachi, as to what Mamata Banerjee's strong objections to the SIR process is. And as you mentioned, among the very many objections she has, Mamata Banerjee also believes that voters are getting generic notices, which mentions their age, their gender, their name, and simply an abbreviation DM, which means discrepancy in mapping. So this logical discrepancy means nothing to an average voter who finds his name deleted from the voter rolls.
That's right. See, Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee has pointed out that there is a lot of confusion when it comes to logical discrepancies and mismatches that is currently happening. One of the example which Mamata Banerjee herself cited, that in Bengali, her name is Mamata Bandopadhyay, but when it comes to English, it is Mamata Banerjee. Under these circumstances also, she says that lakhs of voters has been put into logical discrepancies. Now she also says that a young woman, when she gets married, she goes to her in-laws' house, she takes the surname of her in-laws. So under these circumstances also, voters has been put under the logical discrepancies. So that is the reason why the Trinamool Congress wants that there should be transparency, so that the voters of West Bengal do not face any sort of inconvenience. In fact, it is very important to note that the Supreme Court, in the last hearing regarding the SIR in the state of West Bengal, they said that the ECI should make sure that the entire process of election commission, entire process of SIR is transparent and none of the voters should face inconvenience. Now, Mamata Banerjee also points out one important point, that the micro-observers who have been appointed in the state of West Bengal, around 8,000 of them have been deployed. Now, these micro-observers are not accepting the documents, that is Aadhaar card, ration card and other important documents. Now, Mamata Banerjee wants direction from the Supreme Court to the ECI that Aadhaar card should be made a mandatory document that should be accepted by the ECI or by the micro-observers who have been deployed. So these are some of the important points which which Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee has put across to the Supreme Court in her petition, and she is looking to get some relief from the Apex Court.
And as the hearing in the Apex Court unfolds, let's quickly also run our viewers as to what's transpiring there. Reading from what we're getting out of the Supreme Court, we're given to understand that the lawyer for TMC, along with Mamata Banerjee, says that family registers, Aadhaar cards, OBC certificates, etc., none of them are being accepted by ECI despite court orders, and we seek directions to ECI to upload reasons for each voter flagged as logical discrepancy category pursuant to court directions. Please see what is being put up. Notices say DM, discrepancy in mapping, reason for discrepancy in mapping are not indicated. So that's what's transpiring as far as court is concerned. Further, the lawyers say that there's a lag. Some short reason should indicate so people know why they don't find their names on electoral rolls. Further, ECI has to upload the reasons for citing each of these names in logical discrepancy list. That's what the lawyer for TMC is asking ECI to do, to cite the reasons as to why there is a logical discrepancy without just mentioning an abbreviation that means nothing to people, and asking for court's direction on the matter as no reason is given. So, clearly on the lines of what we're discussing there, Sabyasachi, what are you picking up from what's transpiring there in the court? The lawyers of the TMC, including Mamata Banerjee herself, who are present in the court today, taking ECI to the court for not observing what the court had already upheld by the way of documents that should be submitted for the SIR exercise, saying that the documents that Supreme Court had asked ECI to consider, it hasn't done so.
Senior advocate Sham Diwan says that family registers, Aadhaar card, OBC certificates, etc., none of them are being accepted by themselves despite court orders. We seek direction to ECI to uphold reasons for each voters flagged as logical discrepancies. Now, the Chief Justice of India says that person should know no difficulty in that. Question is what by mode. Whereas the CJI also went on to say that we were told list is not the only communication. There's also individual notice to persons. Now, senior advocate Dwivedi for the ECI says that all notices contain reasons. they were permitted to take authorized agents also. Now, senior advocate Sham Devan, who is representing Mamata Banerjee, said that we seek direction to ECI to withdraw all notices which pertain only to name mismatch. Now, Chief Justice of India says that you are referring to cases. For example, one person writes Datta, different people may use different spellings. Now,
You know, that's interesting, Sabyasachi, because a Datta can be D-A-T-T-A or D-U-T-T-A, or a Sharma can be S-H-A-R-M-A or S-A-R-M-A. And if that's the reason why someone's not finding their names in the electoral rolls or getting a notice from ECI which says DM or discrepancy in mapping, then the average person does not really know what to do about it. And those are the arguments unfolding in the court.
Well, that's right. See, if you look at surnames like Das Gupta, Datta Gupta or Sen Gupta, now there are chances which the Chief Minister also pointed out that there could be a gap or between Sen and Gupta. So under these circumstances also such voters has been put into logical discrepancies. Now Mamata Banerjee says that till now around 58 lakh voters' name has been completely deleted from the voter list, and 1.25 crore names are there in the logical discrepancies. Now Mamata Banerjee also cited the example of her own constituency where she fights from Bhawanipur. She says in Bhawanipur total there are voters of around 2 lakh voters are there, and out of which 20,000 voters' name has been completely deleted. Now she says that in the coming days, most 17,000 voters' name are going to get deleted under logical discrepancies. So the Trinamool Congress wants that there should be transparency and there should be clarity as far as the logical discrepancies are concerned, and that is the reason why they want that in the official portal of the ECI, the names of the voters and under what circumstances they have been put into logical discrepancies, that particular data should be put across for a better transparency. And the Trinamool Congress says that despite the Supreme Court order, it has not been done, and that is why Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee herself decided to come down to the national capital, and she is today in the Supreme Court standing beside senior advocate Sham Devan, who's appearing for Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee. And she also wants that all the previous directions which has been given in by the ECI should be rolled back. And most important point which the Trinamool Congress have raised is that the polls in the state of West Bengal should be conducted under the existing voter list and not on the revised voter list that has been prepared by the ECI, because there are a lot of genuine cases. In fact, she has put out several cases that people who are still alive, they have been shown dead. So there have been n number of such cases which are in the state of West Bengal. She said that a lot of people who represent, who come from SC/ST communities or from the minority communities, they are facing a lot of problem, because what TMC is alleging that the ECI and the Bharatiya Janata Party is terming them as infiltrators. So she says that it is really insulting that if you speak Bengali, you are termed as Bangladeshi. So under what circumstances is central government and ECI going to define that who is infiltrator and who is not? And she also questioned that at the end of the day, it was a job of the BSF to man the border to make sure that no infiltrator can get inside the border. So all these questions were being raised by Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee, and the argument is going on, and senior advocate Sham Devan has put across that these documents, whether it is Aadhaar card, ration card, marriage certificate, these documents in fact are not accepted by the ECI officials, is what the advocate has been claiming.